It's the final night of what has been a glorious month weather-wise here in downtown Indianapolis. September has not been great to the Indy 11, but August was so good, it puts the Indy 11 on the doorstep of a playoff appearance for the first time in 4 years. They take on Detroit City FC alongside Brad Hunter, Greg Rakestraw with you. And yes, the Indy 11 are wearing corn cob jerseys to warm up tonight. It is part of the quirkiness that is Indy 11 Fan Appreciation Night. What the fans would appreciate most is a playoff berth, and the math is simple. If Indy wins tonight, neither Detroit nor Miami could catch them in the standings, which means a playoff drought is over. And as simple as this, Brad, that was the first goal for Mark Lowry and company heading into this season.
Yeah, it is awesome after 4 years to hear you say that.
Detroit City is still in a playoff position, but their road got a bit more challenging when they lost at home in Hamtramck on Wednesday night. A very familiar name and face for Indy 11 fans. Juan Tejada would hammer this one home. A brace would follow after that. All 3 points went to the Switchbacks on Wednesday. And Brad, it could be a tired DCFC squad that Trevor James brings to Carroll Stadium this evening.
That may be fatigued from having to play midweek, but everything is on the line for them tonight.
Again, Detroit still in a playoff position. They are technically the 8th seed. They were a playoff team a year ago, but they're trying to steal at least a point, if not all three tonight. One of the struggles for Detroit City this year has been simply finding the back of the net. They are averaging less than a goal a match.
But you look at the goals allowed, you look at the clean sheets, you look at the shots faced, almost everything statistically is on par for these two teams.
In other words, these two teams played to a one-goal game, 1-0 in Hamtramck on March 25th. You may see much of the same tonight in much warmer and less windy conditions than we had 6 months ago on the south side of Detroit. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, starting lineups, keys to the match, and opening kickoff from the mic. It could be the home finale of the season for the Indy 11. And we thank you for joining us on MyIndyTV and ESPN+.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. And by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Let's get right to it. Starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf as well. Still no Aiden Quinn for the Indy 11, but the great news is Dougie Martinez, after coming off the bench the last couple of matches, inserted back into the starting lineup for Mark Lowry's team.
Right, big boost.
Tim Trilk, of course, in goal, out for the injured Yannick Erdl. That's been the case since early August. On the flip side now for Detroit City, a big part of the story is the fact that Michael Bryant is not in the lineup again. Starting 11, this is a solid group. When Detroit has to kind of get to the bench, it's a bit of a different story. So you see a couple of different names and faces in here for Detroit City, especially knowing this is their third match in the last 8 days.
Yeah, you pencil in Carroll as a center back, and you got Rodriguez. Those are things that can help shore up the back line and then also generate the creativity going forward.
Katerina Koroleva is our referee for tonight's contest. Zach McWhorter and Jackson Krause are the ARs, and Eric Burton is the fourth official for tonight's match. We expect a near capacity crowd at the mic this evening. Again, Indy has 2 more matches on the road before the regular season comes to an end. A win tonight, they are a playoff team. Most playoff action likely will be on the road for the Indy 11. Cam Lindley, had a chance to talk to him for Soccer Saturday earlier this week. He was so thankful getting the chance to play in front of this full Brickyard Battalion all season long. We are thankful you're with us on MyIndy TV and ESPN+. These two teams played 6 months ago. Second match of the season for the Indy 11. A 1-0 victory at Keyworth Stadium on a second-half strike by Brian Rebion. He is available for selection off the bench for Mark Lowry's team tonight.
That was such a crazy game, too. Every ball that was off the ground, you could see how it was impacted. Both teams were struggling to find any kind of rhythm.
Now, winds were gusting in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range in that matchup on March 25th. Budati draws the foul some 30 seconds in. Quick check of the injury report brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. And we mentioned Quinn and Erdl are out. Callum Chapman-Page, he has also been out for some time. Those are 3 absolute starters if they were available for head coach Mark Lowry.
And you can see one of the attacking elements from Indy 11 is the outside backs, Dan Brott and Budati getting forward, and the stress that puts on a back line when they overlap and cause overloads.
Cam Lindley now with 4 assists on the season. His last one came on Indy's last goal, the 1-1 draw in Phoenix last Wednesday on the service to Adrian Deespay. A boot by the Indy 11, but not in the direction of the goal. And Tim Trilk will make his way nearly to the midfield stripe to restart the attack for the Indy 11. Mark Lowry likes the idea, but that's an easy ball for Nate Steinwasser to come track down. Nate is 4th in the league in saves with 82, trailing only Paul Blanchette in Oakland, Rocco Rios Novo in Phoenix, and Michael Nelson with FC Tulsa, who we will see a week from now.
Yeah, an absolute brick wall for Detroit City, and has been since the moment that this club formed. He's just been an anchor for him in the back.
He is in year 8 of his tenure with DCFC. Again, they have worked their way from kind of the amateur level to NPSL, then to NISA. They were clearly the flagship team in NISA before making the jump to the USL Championship a season ago. And for the last several years, that has been under the stewardship and leadership of our good friend Trevor James. It was great to see him before today's game. Amu Mensah barrels through Asante. Gwenzati then picks the pocket of Carroll, and it is Gwenzati that is deemed to have committed the infraction. Asante is still down behind the play. Gwenzati was kind of holding the ball to give Asante a little time to recover after Amu Mensah tried to literally go through him. There is Trevor James, and Trevor was with the Indy 11 really for part of 2 seasons. He was an assistant to the late great Tim Hankinson in 2017. Trevor was very influential in the roster construction of the Indy 11 in 2018 as they made a very late transition from the dying embers of the NASL to the USL Championship. Again, Mark Rennie, the head coach from 2018 through mid-2021. But Trevor James's fingerprints were all over those first couple of years in the USL Championship here in Indy.
Yeah, terrific evaluator of talent, and you could see that not just from his time here in Indy, but then also as he helped to build that championship level team in Detroit.
Trilk under a bit of pressure. Indy plays out of it quickly. While they do that, let's take a look at our keys to the match. They are presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Well, Indy will do well tonight to stay on the front foot. You saw a little blueprint from Colorado Springs on Wednesday night. They opened up the field, moved the ball quickly, and really pinned Detroit in for large chunks of that game. And then I'll tell you the second thing for Indy, it's the job tonight is to grab the win, get the playoff spot, and to do that in front of your home fans. For Detroit, it's defend. So here's a team that's been shut out 15 times this year, almost every other game, and yet they're in a playoff spot because of how strongly they commit to the defensive side of the ball. And then the other part is efficiency in the box. They're the only team in the league that hasn't scored 30 goals. They're the last in goals scored, and it's not because of opportunities. Against Colorado Springs, 14 shots, 1 on goal. The efficiency up front has to be better.
Asante sends that ball in, looking for Douglas Martinez. Maxi Rodriguez track it down to the midfield for Detroit City. I'm not sure if there is a team whose style, whose persona matches their community like Detroit City's does.
Yes.
They just absolutely, you can tell they're a Detroit team, and the way they play, they are tough.
I will see your DCFC and match you with the Riverhounds.
100%. Of course, Riverhounds, we'll talk more about them at halftime. They are going for the Players' Shield, as in the most points during the course of the regular season with 3 matches left to go. This one cut back. Tim Cook all over it. Nothing comes from that ball that was sent in.
It's a clever ball, though. You bring the defenders over, you see this slashing run going across the box, and you just look to slip it into that space behind and just see if you can get a touch on the other end of it.
That is O'Neal Fisher that played that ball in for Detroit City FC. Martinez
what a
slips
ball.
behind a defender. A jersey tuck there. What a play by Steinwasser as Martinez tried to tip him. Nate sends it up and over the bar. It will be a corner kick coming for the Indy 11. And to Martinez's credit, he may have been better served if he had gone down like a sack of potatoes as soon as that jersey tuck came from Stephen Carroll.
Wow, there was everything on that play. A high back line from DCFC, a great ball over the top. Martinez doesn't wait, he just makes this sprint into the space. It lays up perfectly for him. Jersey tug on the back, maybe just to knock him off stride a bit, but still gets a great ball, and what a save by Steinwasser.
Again, Martinez returned to full strength. That is a big key for Indy. Ball sent in. Asante was the target. D's paid, then gets a head to it. Not out of danger just yet. Now a little more real estate picked up by Detroit City. All of our corner kicks brought to us by Wilson Kehoe Winningham. Meshach Jerome. Again, he has seemingly found the fountain of youth during the second half of this season for the Indy 11. Meshach was largely going to be in a backup role this season. Fate kind of dictated that was not the case, and he has been up to the challenge. Jesus Vasquez is now back, but frankly, Jerome has not relinquished that position as a starting center back with his team, as that ball is played off the boot of Douglas Martinez.
Well, you take a look at what developed with the shot from Martinez, but also this last ball. As soon as that ball hits the back line, the head is up. You're looking for where that high line is, and is there space to drive that ball into?
Ben Morris will play that ball back to Aaron Bebo. That's the striking pair tonight for Detroit City FC. Morris, their leading goal scorer on the season, with 6.
Great switch, great ball movement.
Dambrot able to get in the way, and now Indy can potentially launch the counter. Lindley played it behind Asante. Asante liked the idea, even if the service was not what was expected. You see Mark Lowry trying to lead this team to the playoffs in his second year in charge here in Indianapolis. Sports This Match is brought to us by Sports Tech HQ. Indiana, winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. And fresher legs for Indy. They last played on Sunday. A disappointing 1-0 loss at the hands of RGV. Now 3 successive Saturday matches for the boys in blue. They are at FC Tulsa. Tulsa trying to fight and scrap their way back into a playoff position. And Indy wraps up the regular season at San Antonio, the defending USL Cup champions. Brad and I will have that one for you on My Indy TV coming up on Saturday, October the 14th at 8 o'clock. It is one of our 3 road match broadcasts during the regular season. And if there is postseason football, Homer will have it for you as well. Asante, Wenzati, finds a bit of space, has a hit, but directs it at Nate Steinwasser, and Steinwasser gets credit for a second save of the match.
What a touch. In traffic, full speed, able to get himself a look on goal.
With the extended absence of Aiden Quinn, Gwenzati has become the leading goal scorer for this team, now with 10. Now 69 in his days in total in the USL Championship. Gwenzati tied for third amongst active players in terms of league goal scored. Well done by Asante. Lindley is dropped. Foul against O'Neal Fisher. Fisher, one of the new names on this Detroit City side from a season ago.
Hey, one of the things that Mark Lowry just did, it's so important. It doesn't go in the statistic book here. Cam Lindley came in and was holding up play as the pressing defender. Asante tracks back, does the work, becomes the second defender in, wins the ball, gets a high five from coach.
It's Velasquez that is in the starting lineup in place of the injured Aiden Quinn. It has been out since the last Indy 11 victory on September the 2nd. Dispe. His second goal of the campaign got Indy their last point, a hard-earned point in Phoenix some 10 days ago. Now Budati. Budati cuts it back. Martinez had just broken off his run. But again, Mark Lowry applauds. He likes the speed of thought he's seeing from his team so far.
Right. You see, on that one, Jack Blake drops into the role that Aiden Quinn typically has played, collects that ball and drives a brilliant ball to switch fields. And then you take a look at that ball that was played through. Lewis does a terrific job of just getting in the way of Martinez and just holding up play.
Velasquez.
What a turn.
Nifty pirouette. And an even better touch to find Martinez. Martinez going all the way through to Blake. Heads it down, looking for Gwenzati. Couldn't get through 3 DCFC defenders. But again, Indy is dictating tenor and tempo so far in this match. Ball played off of the boot of Adrian Dispe. Sports this match is brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Match number 32 of the season for each of these two teams.
That's a nice ball.
Yeah, high line was being played high enough to put Bibo in an offside position. Bibo from Cameroon and on loan from LA Galaxy 2. He turned 19 27 days ago. He has 10 goals in MLS Next Pro this season. Budati.
What a ball from Mishak Jerome right into Solo's feet.
Asante thought that Sebastian Gwenzati would do what Sebastian Gwenzati does, because every time I've called a goal of his, I think I have yelled back post. So that's kind of where Asante thought he would be, and you kind of see Solid Andrews saying, hey.
Yep, hey, we had that. We drew that up already.
When your team made 32 games, that's where you go. Sebastian will file that away for future use, I'm sure. Here is Nate Steinwasser. He played at Detroit Mercy, who hosts the team that plays in this facility other than the Indy 11. You'll see their logo as Steinwasser flies this from the other end of the park. The IUPUI men and the Detroit Mercy men played to a 2-2 draw today in Horizon League action. Hope you watch that match the same place you're watching this one on ESPN+. Ball knocked forward, but Velasquez, can he win the foot race? No. Carroll has to swipe it sideways. Throw in coming for the Indy 11 in minute number 13.
Great little interplay combination play from Indy down the left flank.
There's been Indy that has been asking all the questions so far. Martinez could not get there. Neither could Gwenzati. Blake will steer it back into Robbie Dambrot. An optimistic ball by Dambrot, but again, Indy continues to push the tempo. Now a bit of a giveaway, and now an opportunity here for Detroit City. Indy racing numbers behind the ball, slaloming through traffic. Eventually, Indy gets a bit of a respite Today's match presented in part by our friends at McGowan Insurance, a proud partner of the Indy 11. McGowan, INSGRP.com is where you can go for all your insurance needs. Rodriguez. And again, Blake committed the foul. It was more the jersey tuck than anything else. Rodriguez, the KG veteran, and dropped to the turf when contact was made by Blake. Maxey is like so many Detroit City players, made the move up with the team. They were jumping up from Nisa to the championship a year ago, and what an accomplishment it was for Trevor James's side. They basically put themselves in a playoff position in the first month of the season last year and never let it go.
Right. And one of the things with Maxey, too, you talk about KG veteran, but just so creative and so sneaky. So you take a look, he gets the ball with his back to the field to play. Jack Blake is going to be right on him. You can't give him a touch where it allows him to get his head up and see the field.
Not a great amount of assists for this Detroit City team, just 15 in the season. Rodriguez leads them with 3. Opportunity here. Martinez onside. And to see who's making that run with him. Goes to the ground. Is there enough in that one? The answer is no, but then Martinez wins it right back. Velasquez surprised when that ball was sent towards him. Asante. When Zadi couldn't get to it. Dambrot.
He thought about it.
Blake does more than think about it. I can't tell if that was post or keeper. It was keeper because it's a point to the corner flag. A Wilson Kehoe Winningham corner. Second try for the Indy 11 here in the first 15.
If you're Indy, you got to like the pace. It's very similar to what Detroit saw Wednesday night, where Colorado Springs was just all over them from the opening whistle.
Blake looking for his first goal in some time. He's got 2 on the season. His opener of the campaign came against the Riverhounds here on April the 29th. His next one was on June 10th in the draw against Hartford Athletic.
I think both of them were one-touch balls with his left foot that were just absolutely next-level goals.
What he has lacked in quantity, he has made up for in degree of difficulty. Jack Blake, the veteran of many seasons here in the States, and the native of Nottingham, England. So once again, Lindley will send it in. Bending ball back posted.
Oh my goodness.
That almost had eyes for being an Olympico, frankly. Steinwasser complaining that he was held up. Frankly, it does not matter. It is a goal kick that is coming for the visitors from Detroit City. Lindley now with 4 assists after being a second-team All-League performer. His solo campaign with the Switchbacks a year ago. As always, I want to thank our producer, Adam Smith, and the rest of our tremendous Tupelo crew that have produced our matches now for the last 9 seasons. Again, we have at least 1 more match to go. We're hoping for many more after that in terms of the postseason. And likely the last time that we will grace the Carroll Stadium turf in 2023.
Boy, great press by Indy, just squeezing the ball over here, and then terrific job by Maxey Rodriguez to just break that press and get the ball to the other side of the field.
How about the job by Fisher to keep that ball in play? Here is Amu Mensah. Bebo. I think that ball's off the official. Yep, got to restart.
And you look at it, too. One of the center backs was out, and he was looking to slip that ball back in, and it was on. There was a lot of space down the center.
Sports This Match brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. So Carroll will play this ball forward. Morris is the target. But again, the pass is just a bit too far in front. It'll be nothing but a goal kick that comes up for Tim Trilka of the Indy 11, who largely has been a spectator so far in this match. But while we have the opportunity, I want to welcome Brian Secor from our good friends at local IBEW 481. They've been a great partner of ours all season long on the Indy 11 Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the booth, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. Good to see you.
This is, I think, the third different time we have had a 481 guest that has joined us on the broadcast.
Yes.
Why has this been such a great partnership between the 11 and IBEW Local 481?
So IBEW is a very community-involved organization. We have a lot of soccer fans within our organization, and our partnership with the Indy 11 has been great, especially being the primary sponsor on these nights, being able to get some of our members out here and just to watch some great soccer.
And you guys are very big in terms of not just soccer, but sporting venues around town, correct?
That's correct. If you look at the Skyline, Lucas Oil Stadium, which our members were part of, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, JW Marriott, hopefully the future stadium of Indy 11 as well.
So what you're saying is that a postcard of downtown Indianapolis serves as a wonderful business card for IBEW.
That is correct. If you look at the Skyline, not just the sporting events, but all the buildings, our members are more than likely to have helped build that.
So you see a lot of things that kind of ebb and flow in all businesses. Is there anything that's trending right now with you guys or in your line?
So we are super busy right now. Work in the Midwest in general is crazy busy. Eli Lilly is building a new facility up in Lebanon, which are going to need a bunch of workers up there. All over central Indiana, there's a dog food plant out in Rushville being built. A couple pharmaceutical facilities up on the north side. So we are very busy. Our apprenticeship, which is IEJATC. We're looking for applications. We're taking in hundreds of apprentices every year to be able to man the work with just the amount of work, and then as people retire, filling in those spots.
So you look at COVID, you look at the supply chains, you look at everything that kind of disrupted things for a while. Did that impact you guys?
No, actually, we had more man hours during 2020. COVID, we didn't slow down. The world kind of slowed down, but our work, we kept going. You know, we had to do a lot of things as far as the hospitals, getting them set up for COVID, you know, the COVID rooms and things like that. But so some of the supply chain issues, we do have some with that even to this day. But work-wise, we never slowed down and kept going.
Bit of a turnover at the back here for the Indy 11. Bevo racing to it. Adrian Deespae able to slow him up just enough. Again, Brian Secor from Local 41 IBEW, kind enough to join us. And you touched on this, but it's something that I don't think can be talked about enough. There is so much more of an appreciation for the trades, and especially in terms of a career path where you are paid for your education instead of paying for your education. What has that shift in the last 4 or 5 years meant for your industry? The number of applications we have is astronomical. We're having 1,600 applications every year. When people realize, when you work union, you live better. We have, like you said, the paid apprenticeship. So 5 years of schooling, you go to work while you go to school. And it's just a good opportunity for somebody to have a great livelihood and be able to support their family. If Indy scores while you're here, you're stuck with us the entire match, just so you know. So with that, you go enjoy the rest of your night. Website for more information about local and IBEW Local 481.
Yes, it is IBEW481.org or ETIIndy.com.
Brian, thank you very much. Given the hat you're wearing, go Trojans.
Yes,
Thanks for joining us on the broadcast today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And Brian Secor again joining us from IBEW Local 481, a wonderful partner of ours here on Indy 11 broadcast all season long. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you here on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Nothing too electrifying went on during the course of the match.
Mr. Rakestraw.
I'm not sure if that's broadcaster training or dad jokes or a combination of the two, but it's the best I can do with that. What are you seeing from the Indy 11 so far now, Brad, through 23 minutes?
Well, you like the pace that they're attacking with. It's fast, and they're looking at not just that ball over the top of the high line, but they're looking when that's not on to build through feet and then get it wide and look for that ball served in across the box.
Martinez did not get all that he wanted to on that one. Steinwasser again able to make the play with relative ease. It has been busy for Nate, but nothing of the spectacular other than that chip opportunity by Martinez in minute number 6.
Yeah, and that was a dangerous opportunity that Indy created with that direct ball. And you take a look at this one too. Martinez was a step offside. The flag went up because it went into Steinwasser's hands. They didn't call it, but again, it was like a step off. If Martinez is a step delayed, that's another ball over the top that he's got a chance on.
And again, frankly, I don't think this is a match that can have a lot of goals in it. When these two teams have gotten together, 1-0, 0-0, 1-0. Those have been the 3 results when they have played over the course of the last 2 seasons.
Well, you mentioned it when you talk about a city, a team that emulates the city, and you know, blue-collar, hard-working Detroit, and that's why they're so good defensively. It's just this grind-it mentality, really just make it so difficult to find spaces and pockets to attack.
By the way, let's also credit their tremendous supporters group, the Northern Guard. They have members here tonight to cheer on their team. That is certainly welcome to see. It's a great Indy 11 showcase up at Hamtramck back on March 25th as well, when these two teams got together the first time this year. Such is life when the 2 stadiums are all of 4 hours apart from each other.
But they're up, they're dancing now. We saw them come in with the drums, the banging, chanting.
Well, you had a 4-hour drive to get here, a 4-hour drive to go. Might as well get some, get your steps in while you're here, right?
And then you probably got some big gulps or something on the way down. You got a little
like
caffeine
that.
in you.
Yes, there you go.
Breathe.
Sports This match brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana, proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. So happy that last year of the various matches that were showcased on ESPN2 or ESPN News a season ago, there was an early season Saturday afternoon tilt again when Colorado Springs visited Detroit last year. I think it was in June, and just to see those 7,000-8,000 fans at Hamtramck just going nuts at Keyworth. It's a great showcase for the league. Long distance ball that Jerome races back and plays to Tim Trill. Trill definitely scoots that over to Adrian Deespay. Here's Budati. Budati last 2 seasons played for Hartford Athletic. Played in 61 of 64 matches the last couple of years. He's played in all but 3 this season. Opportunity here for Dambrot.
Great touch.
Dambrot plays it across. Wow. Just couldn't find its way past Steinwasser.
And you take a look at it, Indy's finding success on the wings. They're able to drive that ball across. They just haven't been able to find the backside, and that's something that Guenzati is so good at. Either just finding that right moment to step in front of the defender or trail in behind him if it's going to run past him.
Isn't able to clear that last defender just yet. It's a great find by Deespay. Once again, Dambrot lurking on the left side. The turf monster got Robbie on that one.
You look at those last 2 balls that have been into Dambrot. His first touch has been phenomenal in setting himself up for an opportunity to have that early serve in behind the back line.
Robbie plays left back, but he frankly runs like a running back. He is always leaning forward. Rodriguez couldn't draw the whistle. Budati keeps the ball in play. And now Blake also trying to draw a said whistle. Does not get it. Good toe poke though by Guenzati. Blake remains in a crumpled heap on the field. Indy plays on. Now Lindley slides it for Asante. Left foot of Asante, but
thought he had the back post.
Back at Steinwasser. Frankly, I think he had either post, to be blunt with you. Put it right in the middle.
Great ball movement and a lot coming through. Velasquez is just dancing at the top of the 18, drawing defenders in. That's opening up the pockets and the space for other players.
Think back of the match at Hamtramck on Labor Day weekend last year, where ended up being a 0-0 draw. That was the week where Indy had won beaten San Antonio here, beaten Louisville here in successive matches. And Indy didn't have much left in the tank. Kind of wanted Detroit's in that same position tonight. Martinez, again, probably would like to have that one back. But continued applause for Mark Lauer because of what he is seeing from his team. They're just peppering Steinwasser with shot after shot.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. They're peppering Steinwasser with shot after shot. However, they're all manageable except for one. Everything has been at him and not difficult. He's a brilliant keeper. You're going to have to be a bit better in the box to beat him.
Well, there is a 12-save clean sheet that we will chronicle during halftime. Steinwasser trying to top that.
He's got to be, what, 5 already?
In tonight's match. One of the spectaculars so far. The rest have simply been of the solid category. Dambrot plays that one well. Throw in coming for the Indy 11. Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Get the playoff picture. Indy 6th on 42 points. Birmingham Legion 7th on 40 points. It is Detroit City in 8th at 37. FC Tulsa 9th at 36. And because of back-to-back wins, the Miami FC are still in it, sitting on 35 points in 10th. Amongst those 5 teams, 3 will make the postseason. Budati off of Amu Mensah. Corner coming, this time near side flag. It's presented by our friends at Wilson, Kehoe, Winningham, and the Brickyard Battalion. Awfully fired up, potential goals right in front of them.
2 great things that earn this corner. Jack Blake plays that ball instead of to Budati, plays it hard into his front foot, and Budati's first touch is an attacking touch. That could have been a settling ball, it could have been to his back foot, but it's the ball from Blake and the touch from Budati that sets up this opportunity for a corner kick.
Lindley, Steinwasser. And that would look relatively easy. This reminder, fans, that eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Free to play. Download now. Again, for the Indy 11, there is no need to be crazily watching the scoreboard as of yet, because you control your playoff fate with your own hands, or I guess feet in this case. Over the next 2 weeks, again, a win tonight and Indy is in. Guenzani the target. Lewis racing back to get in the way. And if that does not happen for Indy, then simply a win next week would also do the same. But that is in Tulsa. And Tulsa's a team that has really given Indy fits over the last couple of seasons.
What an effort by Robbie Dambrot to keep that ball in play.
Those tend to happen on days that end in Y when Robbie is involved.
And you look, that whole play came off of, again, high line by Detroit, and Indy looking to go over the top. And even though the center backs won the ball, that second ball was collected by Velasquez and allowed to keep possession and keep the opportunity going.
Velasquez, one of the many mid-season acquisitions for the Indy 11, been with the team since June. Played in 1 match with Memphis before coming this way, and he has been an invaluable asset added by Mark Lowry. Lindley, the read. Asante keeps going forward, goes down, and a card will be shown for the first time. And Solo may be hoping that the first one would have been more, because that second contact was at the edge of the 18. O'Neal Fisher will be shown the card, and Indy will have a free kick on the doorstep of the 18-yard box. Indy has attempted 1 penalty since Aiden Quinn exited with an injury. The penalty was taken by Sebastian Guenzani and missed the loss against New Mexico. That second kind of dig in that time by Jop. I'm not sure it was as challenging, but again, it was right at the edge of the 18. Right, if you are Cam Lindley, Brad, where does this ball need to go?
I like that ball bent right in behind Maxi Rodriguez, and if you don't like that look, I love this little touch out here to Velasquez. I think when you stand over that ball and you got two pretty good options, that's the advantage to the attacking team.
Katerina Koroleva wanted to take a quick check at the activity inside of the 18. Lindley given the go-ahead. Goes right back to Cam Lindley. But we have a Detroit player down, so hang on just a moment before we restart, because that was a heck of a hit.
Yeah.
Was volleyed right back towards the Indy 11 bench.
Kind of would have liked to seen that ball just touched into the space for Velasquez and just see, can he bend it behind the back line, or can he get his first touch and go to goal?
And it's Maxi Rodriguez that says he is no worse for wear. It's good to see. Let's thank our friends at the Morales Group. Staffing agencies find jobs at the Morales Group. We build futures. More about them in a moment. Here is another look at the noggin knocker that Maxi Rodriguez is up and seemingly recovered from. Thanks to our friends at the Morales Group. Jerome.
Oh,
great find.
Ball. Brilliant ball.
It's Martinez. Blake. Somewhere in between a shot and a cross that time from Jack Blake. And a point can be beneficial for both teams tonight, but we are a long ways away from thinking about playing for 1 instead of 3 for each of these two sides. I hope you listened this morning to Soccer Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. You're joined by Cam Lindley, Chris Johnson, who IUPUI's women's coach. They've had 4 unbeaten to start their Horizon League campaign. They next play here next Sunday. And Jordan Dickey joined us. He is the co-captain of the United States Power Soccer team that is about to head to the World Cup in Australia. Jordan is one of 4 members of that 8-player roster who call Central Indiana home. They're going to have a reception, kind of an open practice where you can see them in action coming up at St. Elizabeth Seton Gymnasium in Carmel next Friday night at 7 o'clock. That's 106th and Haverstick Road. We hope you can go check that out. You can go listen to any of those conversations online at 1075thefan.com. Jerome steers that away at the edge of the 18. Dees Pay gets in the way. There have not been many extended spells of possession for Detroit City in any part of the park tonight, but especially in the attacking third. That'll continue here.
You talked about Jordan in Power Soccer. Did you watch any of the videos of? This is the first time I've seen it. It's incredible. There's teams all over the country.
Again, Martinez showing that speed.
What pace.
Great touch by Lewis.
Well, when he gets into 5th gear, he is a handful.
Ricky Martinez, 3 goals and 3 assists this year. He was acquired by the Indy 11 right before the second match of the season, which for Indy was against this Detroit City side. He played 80 minutes in that season opening match on March the 25th. He's been dealing with some injury issues. Missed a handful of games. Zadi kind of went to the turf late, hoping to draw a whistle. Did not get it. Play has been allowed to be physical in tonight's contest.
Right, and been consistent, so I have no issue with it, because then you get your benchmark on what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Foul whistle against Solomon Asante. Tonight's match presented in part by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Well, as you'd expect for the home finale, and since we're thinking about renaming September into San Diego around here, the weather has been so good for the last several weeks. Packed house at the mic tonight. Rutz, deft touch, Bebo at the edge of the 18.
Brilliant build-up.
Chop.
And that was one that Jop just played it to his back foot instead of his front foot, which took him 2 to 3 touches to collect it instead of being able to go set it up and have a look on frame.
Steinwasser tries the big ball over the top. But if nothing else, this is a welcome respite from defending for Detroit City.
Good movement.
Fisher will switch the side of the attack. Ball sent in, and this one steered wide. No touch there from the Indy 11. I think that was Morris, I believe. They got a look at that for Detroit City. We'll see how it's Rutz. My apologies. Connor Rutz scored the lone goal in their 1-0 victory here last July.
You look at that dangerous opportunity, the most dangerous that Detroit City has been tonight, and it came from ball movement all the way to this touchline, all the way across, back into the center, and then the opportunity.
Kind of errant distribution from the Indy 11 tonight. Detroit City goes to Loudon. We're going to have been eliminated from playoff consideration next Saturday. They finish with Pittsburgh at home on October the 14th.
Great recovery run by Maxi Rodriguez.
Dambrot digs in. Somehow comes out of there with it. Dambrot plays it across, but Steinwasser cuts off the angle in front of Guenzati. Our final minutes of the first half are brought to us by Sherwin-Williams, official paint sponsor of the Indy 11. Sherwin-Williams is the partner to the pro. If you're Mark Lowry, if this is what it's going to be at halftime at 0-0, what's your message to your team?
You love the opportunities, but it's got to be that final piece of the puzzle. Someone's got to put it in.
On the flip side, Trevor James is preaching what to his team at halftime?
Hey, keep doing what you're doing, because everything is, even though they're getting opportunities, everything has been manageable for Steinwasser.
Mishak Jerome will be whistled for the foul, which will allow Detroit to kind of move some players forward here in the closing minutes of half number 1.
And we've seen through the course of this season, when Indy's had these spells of, consistent attacks and holding possession, creating opportunities in the attacking half, and then all of a sudden blinks, and it's a restart, it's a counterattack, and it winds up that they start chasing the game.
It's Rodriguez will steer this one in. 3 assists on the season for Maxi. Back post. And Trilk will snag it. Trilk has played every minute in net since Yarnik Ernal was injured in training in late July, early August. And as expected, Trilk has been solid in his second year with the Indy 11. Native of Rockford, Illinois. Guenzati goes down, does not get the whistle. Asante.
Great job.
And again, just Martinez off to the races. Lewis does just enough. And Martinez turned him, yep. Martinez with that left arm just spun Lewis around enough.
But there was enough delay in the whistle with as relaxed as the call, as physical as they've allowed it to be played. There was enough of a delay in the whistle that you thought, uh-oh.
We'll take a look here, and this would be a call that you might see at Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow. Pass interference at number 42 with the off arm, 15 yards and a first down.
You love the opportunities on that quick repossession, ball driven right over the center back, and with Dougie Martinez's pace, that's going to be a dangerous opportunity. So City can handle that in one of two ways. One, when that ball's turned over, immediately get pressure to it to deny the ability to have that ball served over the top, or you got to win that ball in the back.
Rodriguez, offside flags up. Ruts had just trickled a bit offside. Budati not happy with the lack of a foul call on the near sideline. Just reminder, fans at Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. Be sure to experience comfort in downtown Indy. I do not think we are looking at much in the way of stoppage time before we get to the halftime break. Martinez, left foot, gets it by Steinwasser. Indy finds one at the end of the half. Douglas Martinez gets his 4th of the season. It is time to cue the smoke in Indianapolis.
Brilliant. Brilliant. They knocked on the door. They kept knocking on the door. We just talked about it. Either got to deny the opportunity up front for that ball to be served, or you got to win it in the back. And if not, with Dougie's pace, something dangerous can happen.
4 goals and 3 assists, and his numbers have been solid. Frankly, his role in this team is bigger than those numbers indicate. Just kind of having that man to kind of play off of Sebastian Guenzati. It's similar for old school Indy 11 fans. He's the Justin Braun to Guenzati's Aben Zayed. Having that duo up top makes life a whole lot better for the boys in blue.
Well, he brings a couple different dimensions. One, he's just got ridiculous pace, and that puts a thought in every defender's mind on how you got to play. The other thing, and we saw the first part, the early part, he's almost played 2 different seasons this year. The early part was more as a playmaker. It was, collecting assists and setting up the play before that assist. And then lately, it's been as a goal scorer, finding the back of the net himself.
Well, in 2 previous get-togethers over the last 15 calendar months, 1 goal is all that has been needed. Detroit City will have to chase this now a little bit more. 1 minute, by the way, of added time. And now a whistle called against the Indy 11. So one last set-piece opportunity coming here for Detroit City. And a card will be shown to the Indy 11 as well on the challenge.
The emotion, the tactical adjustments, everything changes at halftime with that goal from Martinez. And here, if you're Indy, you cannot concede one right at this moment, because just the emotional impact of it, how it changes the game, both for City and the 11.
I believe that yellow was on Velasquez. We'll get a clear picture here on this challenge. Well, if it was going to be on someone, it's on Velasquez. It was. And we've seen a lot of action like that has been allowed to kind of carry forward in tonight's match. But one last look before we get a 15-minute intermission coming up here for the visitors, trying to pull one back. D's pay, and that's it. Yep, 1 touch, all that was needed. The Indy 11 with Douglas Martinez's 4th goal of the season. They are now in goal in front, and they are 45 minutes away from the postseason. Something we have not talked about in these parts since 2019. We hope to catch up with that gentleman at the end of our halftime show. Between now and then, a look back at half number 1, thoughts of what might be different in half number 2, but as always, a look around the entirety of the USL Championship. And we'll begin that process after this short timeout. The Indy 11 looking for their first win in 4 weeks. And one that will put them over the top in terms of the playoff chase in the Eastern Conference. It's Indy 11-1, Detroit City 0. Back with more in a moment as you're watching on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Again, an absolutely gorgeous evening this last night in September. Again, Indy in a winning position going to halftime, and a win tonight guarantees them a playoff berth some 3 weeks from now. Back to our pitchside broadcast location alongside Brad Hodder. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for joining us tonight and all season long, either on My Indy TV, Wish TV, our friends in both South Bend and Fort Wayne, as well as any of you watching around the world on ESPN+, and especially you, Tom, watching on YouTube in Great Britain on this late Saturday evening. Obviously, Brad, that late-minute goal kind of changes everything for Indy 11 going into half number 2.
It does, and the main thing that it does is it puts Detroit City in a position where they have got to press higher and harder this half. And then what that will do is it'll open up some possession spaces and more attacking opportunities for Indy.
Let's get to news and notes, shall we? Take our look around the USL Championship. By the way, Detroit didn't get the win, but on Wednesday they have the 2 millionth fan. And John Sarge looks like a pretty cool dude to hang out with. So next time we're going to Detroit, we're going to hang with John up in Hamtramck. The Players' Shield goes to the team that has the most regular season points. Looks like it's going to come down to 2 great teams in Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay.
And not just 2 great teams, but, Sacramento and San Antonio are also in that mix. But then you look at the job the Battery has done. From what they've done in 12 months to put themselves into this conversation is incredible.
2 words, Ben Pierman. We thought that was exactly how it was going to play out. Now, Jake McGuire, frankly, has kept Miami FC in the playoff chase. A 12-save effort in a shutout victory against Birmingham Legion, 1 shy of the USL record for most saves in a clean sheet. So not surprisingly, Jake's a part of the USL Championship Team of the Week, as was his teammate Joaquin Rivas. When you score a hat trick, as Rodrigo Da Costa did, to beat the Rowdies last week, he's the Player of the Week.
A fantastic match by him, but Again, the ageless wonder, Canardo Forbes, is still finding his way into the team of the week.
Let's reference Matthew Lewis, a part of that as well, representing Detroit City FC from tonight's contest. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with more of our look around the USL Championship and getting you ready for half number 2. Again, our score at the break, it's Indy 11-1, Detroit City 0.
Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Again, great crowd and obviously a great atmosphere. But Ben's soft pretzels, that makes your night better whether you're winning or losing. For the Indy 11, it's a win right now. DCFC will do their best to try to reverse that in half number 2. We continue our look around the USL Championship here at the break. Again, this is the table, and this is going into tonight's play. And again, we'll try to do the math quickly. If this score holds, Indy is 8 points clear of Detroit. And at the end of the night, the closest Miami would be 7. And that is with a max of 6 points left in the season. That's the equation if Indy wins this as to why they are guaranteed to be a playoff team for the first time in 4 years. And as the graphic says, those in the top 5 have already clinched their position Those bottom 5 competing for seeds 6, 7, and 8.
You work so hard as a player and as a team through these 9 months to put yourself in this position. You're 90% of the way through your schedule, and you control your fate. That's where you want to be if you're Indy.
And frankly, those scores on the screen could not be better for the Indy 11. FC Tulsa knew they had a tough one going to Pittsburgh tonight. Hounds league that one 2-1 at the break. Miami and Hartford, you kind of think that has to be 3 points for Miami because of Hartford's struggles this season. The Tampa Bay Loudon match doesn't really mean much for either of these two teams. Memphis and Birmingham do. If Memphis wins, you know you're on the road in round number 1. But if they beat Birmingham, a little more cushion for a better seed for the Indy 11.
I had a question just for a moment in the Pittsburgh-Tulsa game because I'm thinking, okay, Pittsburgh has got the number 1 spot already locked up. Do they mail it in at this point and say, okay, we're going to rest some players? And then I thought, Bob Lilly.
Yeah, that's your answer.
No, he's gonna go all out all the time.
I'll go no quit. You can fill in the rest of that because it's Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Stay tuned. We'll come back with first half highlights and hopefully a chat with Indy 11 head coach Mark Lowry. That comes your way next. The second half is moments away on MyIndy TV and ESPN+.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. It's a crazy world, so what do you do? Tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work. It can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
We're back at Michael A. Carroll Track and Soccer Stadium, and on that track right now is the head coach of Indy 11, Mark Lowry, who joins us now. Obviously, this is the position you want to be in. Your thoughts on these next 45 minutes, Coach?
We need to maintain that energy. Our energy off the ball was fantastic. You know, winning those duels, winning those battles in there. We showed some quality at times. Unfortunately, not to probably be a couple up, but we've got to go chase another goal. We have to attack.
What changes, if any, do you expect to see from Trevor's team in the second half?
I mean, eventually they're going to have to go for it. I don't think they're making any subs right now, but eventually they're going to maybe change the system and go for it. But right now, we're focusing on us being aggressive, being committed to getting a win and score another goal.
Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
Head coach Mark Lowry, kind enough to join us. Your thoughts about Coach's comments?
Nailed it. That was the number one key, front foot. And that's what they established in that first 45 minutes. Everything was forward. They were looking to be aggressive in the attacking half. And again, you know, you can't let this one stick around, so they're looking to put it under right away.
Quick check of first half highlights, and it was all capped off with the Douglas Martinez goal in the 45th minute, but it's been Indy that's been dictating tenor and tempo all night long.
Yeah, from the opening whistle, and that's what you want to see, especially when you've got the opportunity in front of your fans on Fan Appreciation Night to lock up a spot in the playoffs.
Connor Rudd's really kind of the best chance that Detroit City has looked at the course of the night. Martinez finishes it here. This has not been kind of a Route 1 big ball team all season. Why has that been the case tonight?
You got a high line, and when you take a look at City, they got their center back spread a lot, and that's putting Dougie Martinez into a 1v1. So even if it's a ball like this that the defender's able to get to first, he's got 50-50 shot at coming down with that ball and creating something from it.
I asked Mark the question. I'll ask you, if you're Trevor James, when do you switch things up again? It's your third match of the week, and again, there's not as much off the bench for this Detroit City team as maybe some others in the league. When do you got to go for it down a goal here?
Yeah, I think Trevor's got to look into the eyes of his players and read that in the locker room, because if you feel like you've got enough in the tank, I think you come out in this 45 minutes and you look to try and get the equalizer early. You wait, and you got another 20-30 minutes on your legs and a little bit more gas out of the tank. At the time you decide to pull that trigger, you may have to be dipping into guys on the bench to execute that.
Of course, this match brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana's proud to be Honda's home turf, too. So it's your local Honda dealer today. And no Michael Bryant tonight, out due to a suspension. That's a big miss for Detroit City. Morris, their leading goal scorer, with 6 on the season. Not called his name very much tonight. He's pressuring Jack Blake as we speak. Indy by no means is going to step on it here this early in the second half, but Detroit will allow that possession on the back, then Indy will most certainly take it. Wenzati with a giveaway here, though. Chance to pounce for it for Detroit City. Maxi Rodriguez goes down. We play on inside of the 18, and just a bit too forward leaning on the touch. Opportunity goes by the wayside for the visitors.
And that's one of the things that Indy needs to stay away from, is that turnover that allows City to get out in transition as Indy is opening up the channels to find attacking lanes and not in a good position to defend.
And Indy is at Tulsa next Saturday night. Finishes at San Antonio. The defending league champs, of course, their netminder in his second year is Indy 11 legend Jordan Farr. And I will have that match for you on My Indy TV. One of our 3 road telecasts of the regular season. 2 weeks on October 14th at 8 o'clock. Ball played in. Ball caroms off the Indy 11 player. Restart coming here for Detroit City. Of course, this match is brought to us by Sports Deck HQ. Indiana, winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. Brad, it is hard to believe that this is likely the conclusion at home of year number 10 of Indy 11 soccer. It's also kind of the quirks of the schedule as well, with finishing with 2 on the road, that your home finale is on September the 30th. Both Dambrot and Dees Pay kind of switched off for a moment, because if a Detroit City player was going to play it, it was going to be in an offside position.
Yeah, and you take a look at Maxi Rodriguez recognizing the situation. You got the 2 backs from Indy kind of lightening up on their pursuit of that ball. The player that was offsides for City starting to just make his run back. Maxi Rodriguez takes off in the middle of the field and says, hey, I might get a shot at this.
Budati flying forward, as per usual, trying to find Wenzati and could not get it through. Martinez. Velasquez. Asante. Wow. Just 1 goal this year for Solomon. Team high 6 assists. His goal coming in a loss to Monterey Bay back in early May.
Wouldn't you know it? His only goal off his head this year.
That ranks up with Tanner Thompson as the most unlikely headed goals in the history of the Indy 11. And they're both about the same height if you've met both players. That was the season opener in 2017 against the long-lived the San Francisco Deltas for the Indy 11.
we going to hear about the chicken teriyaki?
I'll tell you what, that and the beverages that night at Kezar were just fantastic. I may have oversold that fan experience to Brad 6 years ago when it happened.
6 years ago, we relive it every year.
It was glorious.
Yeah, a lot of the players from that team still playing in the league. And
how about Tyler Gibson?
I think every time we come across one of them, I get to hear about the teriyaki chicken.
I would encourage you to go read. There's a Jeff Reuter story on The Athletic about that one-year experience in San Francisco. It was really cool. Bebo. D's pay. Shoulder to shoulder. It's been allowed to be physical going in both directions tonight. Lindley. Fisher got in the way of that one. Sports this match is brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Exceptional care simply delivered.
You're clicking in your head right now. Restarts and transitions. Restarts and transitions. If you're Indy, you're saying, we got to stay away from both of those. If you're Detroit, you're saying, hey, can we grab a couple of those moments?
Well done here.
It's a great turn by Budati.
Budati knocks it forward, just couldn't find Martinez. Good track back by Velasquez. Dambrot gets in the way. Now Lindley will join the attack. Quinzati. Not enough in it. It has literally been no blood, no foul for most of this match. Martinez apparently drew blood. And that legitimately was a foul.
Right, and that's one, you love Despay's ability to win that ball in the back and then play make and move that ball across the back line. But that's really a ball that's got to go into Cam's feet and then look for that big switch.
Frankly, every spell of possession for the Indy 11 is a win, protecting this one-goal advantage. Possession very much tilted in favor of the home side tonight, which frankly is what we expected going into it. Indy asked for an offside flag. Didn't really matter. Detroit had basically allowed Indy to reclaim possession. Of course, this match is brought to us by the Denny Companies, tearing down the past so you can build the future. Building from the back here are the Indy 11. Good looking ball here. Asante slides it for Budati. Velasquez. Dambrot's touch a bit too strong, but Blake is there to track it back for the Indy 11. It is 9 behind the ball for Detroit City, but for Indy, that's perfectly fine. So we're going to see a couple of potential changes here for Detroit City coming up sooner rather than later. And again, they do not have to win tonight to clinch a playoff spot, to secure a playoff spot, to stay in a playoff, possibility or opportunity. But a point would most certainly help.
Just a wee bit of keep away.
Looks like 3 new players will track in here for Detroit City. When when given the opportunity.
And this may be that moment where the gas is pushed down a little bit harder. You got 3 guys going in, so you got fresh legs, but you're also able to imprint them with tactical instructions that they can now share with the team.
Asante.
Hello.
A bit aggressive on that one. Richie Ballard, Dario Suarez, and Reese Williams will be the 3 that will make their way to the 4th official. Williams is a usual starter. Dario Suarez, I'm not sure he needs much of an introduction from his days at FC Tulsa. And Richie Ballard is from Louisville and played at Indiana University. So he too is also very familiar to the fans in this area. Good win by Jerome. When Zadi just couldn't find Martinez.
But again, it's just probing on that center back that Martinez is on. Can we get it into space? Can we get it into feet? Can we get it over the top? But as soon as Indy wins that ball, it's looking to see, is Dougie isolated on him?
Now Velasquez charging forward. Dambrot received it from Martinez. Cuts it back.
Clever ball.
Nobody made that corresponding run. Martinez. Let's hope that he is all right. He's been dealing with some minor injuries that have slowed him down a touch. This is his 28th match, possible 32 this season. He missed a couple for the Indy 11. Josh Franken will come out and check on him. That will allow the trio of subs to make their way to the 4th official. Martinez has a pretty good gripe there.
Yeah, and tip of the hat to him for coming and pressing and making the city's ability to build out of the back or get into the middle third difficult.
If Martinez is unable to move forward, Stefano Pino would be the likely replacement from up top for the Indy 11. Indy obviously will do everything they can to keep Martinez in the game, given the imprint he has made in this game so far. Man, look at the calf muscles of Jack Blake. They are so strong, his socks can't even contain them. His socks have like vents on them. These are the things you get to see when you slow down the game for a little bit. Well, good to see that Martinez is up and ambulatory under his own power. And Detroit wants to make these moves now. And Williams making a rare off-the-bench appearance with former Ivy League man from Colombia. Suarez came to this country in 2015 after he defected from Cuba during the Gold Cup. Traded from Tulsa, where he played the last 4 seasons in June. We referenced Ballard's background, who the last 2 years played for Miami FC. All of our substitutions brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. So 3 sets of fresh legs into the fray for Detroit City.
Yeah, fresh legs, and Williams has got pace. So you got to be very, very careful that you don't allow him an opportunity to get free into space and that ball to be delivered.
That ball was kept in play by Detroit City. Martinez has been waved back on. Fisher, Bebo, and Morris are the trio that have subbed off for Trevor James's side. There's 2 subs remaining. Here is Williams immediately chasing the play for Detroit City. Getting in the way was Budati. Hit from distance.
Good clean save.
And Trilk was able to snag on the way by.
It's a great strike. It's a great strike. Low far post from about 25 yards out.
And Trilk has not had to do much in tonight's match. It will be kind of small moments of brilliance that'll be required for him. You might expect Detroit to have a few more opportunities given kind of time and score, and been chasing this result for the visitors. Amu Mensah dives in, but throw in coming for the Indy 11. course, this match is brought to us by Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission.
Right now for Indy, it comes down to risk and reward. You know, in 30 minutes to go in the match, you have the 3 points. You have the playoff position locked up at this point. So now every time you're looking to play a pass, every time you're looking to make a run, it's risk and reward. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to hold the ball a couple more touches and put myself into trouble? Is it worth it to play a soft ball across the middle?
Jerome will simply sky that one. We play on. There was kind of inadvertent head-to-head contact on that play. All the way to the back and not close to threatening the goal on that chance for Detroit City. And now let's go back and check on the player that is on the turf. That was Williams that took the shot. It's Rodriguez again. Certainly given his all, has the 28-year-old. 2 goals on the campaign for Rodriguez as well. Deespe. Ballard. 3-car pileup, more or less, at midfield. And eventually Detroit City comes out of there with it.
Opportunity.
Dambrot, great ball. Martinez will track it down with 3 or 4 players getting behind him, but still possession is what is most important right now for the Indy 11. Lindley. Dambrot. A little too much on that, but a gift that was not needed. There was no pressure on the back there for Detroit City. Abu Mensah, I think, recognized the acreage he had around him. And a corner coming for the Indy 11, presented by Wilson Kehoe Winningham.
And a great ball from Dambrot over to Martinez, over the defender, to begin this spell of possession and earn this corner kick. However, if that ball was played a little bit more in front, it's a ball that Doug Martinez can run onto and have an opportunity on goal.
Seven targets to choose from for Cam Lindley. It was all the way through. Great hustle by Dario Suarez to win that ball.
Oh, what a touch.
Suarez part of a 3-player trade that saw Tommy McCabe go to Tulsa back in June. Jope kind of blew a tire on that one. Well, as expected, Detroit City has picked up the pressure, has chased this with a little bit more. It was relatively easy control of possession in the first half, has clearly leveled a bit here in half number 2. Of course, this match is brought to us by the Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Rodriguez, yep, was in an offside position. Rodriguez may be a human bruise at the end of this match.
He's put himself into a blender here tonight. I mean, he's just been knocked around on virtually every ball that's come into him, and I think it's partly the fact that, you know, he's always around the ball, and the other part is he's so dangerous you can't allow him to have uncontested touches. Now, important part here is Indy continues to send Dambrot and Budati forward on the wings, is to make sure that as they go and your center backs split, that you've got Blake or Cam sitting home a little bit and just helping out.
Cam Lindley was second in the league in passes completed entering this match. 2,044, only trailing Aaron Malloy of Memphis 901. Of course, for a while it was he and Aiden Quinn that were 1 and 2 in the league, but With Quinn's absence for the last 3 weeks, his numbers have dropped back just a little bit. Quinzotti drifting a little bit further back again, knowing possession is crucial for the Indy 11, protecting this 1-goal lead. Trilk offering a safety valve. Dees Pay goes the other way. It's never a bad play either. Quinzotti avoids the high boot, which was risky but never made contact. Asante plays it across, and Steinweischer.
Oh, he read it. Yeah, he read it. He was cheating off that front post a little bit. He knew what was coming.
And not surprisingly, Nate has been one of the better keepers since he joined the league 2 years ago. He had hoped to have a 10th clean sheet in the season coming into this match. He'll have to stick with 9 after Douglas Martinez snuck one past him in the opening 45. Opportunity here. Indy does just enough traffic there in the midfield.
Yeah, he is so fast, but that ball, he could never get it out from underneath his feet to allow himself to run.
Budati down behind the play, and he may be a bit more angry than injured on that one, given his demonstrative response to our match referee tonight. Again, Eunice has said that the dislocated shoulder that he suffered back in late May, it's not going to fully heal until the season is over. He is preparing for potential a little surgery in the offseason. But what a find he has been for head coach Mark Lowry. Well, we've referenced a couple of times the finale for the Indy 11 in San Antonio, October the 14th. This reminder, the USL is celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league for the final weekend of the regular season on that October the 14th. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more.
And that can't happen. That can't happen if you're Indy.
Giveaway by Indy.
You got everybody in blue jerseys moving forward, a casual ball that turns over.
Opportunity here, Jerome.
Brilliant.
Stays in front of Connor Rutz.
Great run by Rutz, but Mishak did what he needed to do and just make sure that that ball was allowed to run into Trilk.
Dees Pay took the risk, and it paid off. Velasquez couldn't find Martinez. Great play by Dambrot. Timed it perfectly to take it away from Ballard. Good step. Quinzotti right at on the touch, but couldn't find Martinez. If you're Mark Lowry, is it maybe time to deal some cards off the bottom of the deck here? Is it time to look at a sub or two in the 68th minute?
I like the way that you're playing. If I'm going to make a move, I might make a move where I sit my wing backs a little more cautiously and just say, hey, it's got to be on for you to go. Let's jam up this defensive third with bodies.
Mishak niftily heads that ball back to Tim Trilk. And again, Martinez, the long distance target. That has been the play tonight for the Indy 11. Velasquez. Left foot. Velasquez. What a hit for Sebastian Velasquez. There's the 2-goal lead. What a time for your first Indy 11 goal. The playoffs have just gotten closer. One more time. Cue the smoke in Indianapolis with 20 minutes left to play.
been such a brilliant hold-up player at the top of the box, looking to dish it off, give opportunities to other players. This one opens up for himself, and he says, thank you very much.
Tonight has been a night for the unsung heroes for the Indy 11. Martinez and Velasquez, they have played critical roles all season long. Picture perfect from Sebastian Velasquez.
What a ball.
By the way, give Cam Lindley the assist. That is his 5th of the campaign. Budati digs in and knocks that one sideways. So again, possession, the key for the Indy 11, even if that means in retreat mode to some degree. Well, the 4 meetings between these two squads since the Detroit City team made their way up from Nice. First time that either side has scored multiple goals in a match. Dambrot down on the turf, we play on. Does Diop have a hit from distance? He does, and Trilk eyeballs it as it steers wide.
You can't let that ball linger in the defensive third too much, just because it's a desperate City team right now trying to pull one back here. And then when that ball does pop out at that 30-35, you've got to be running a player at it to contest it a little bit.
There was a legendary Division III coach in John Gallardi, coached at St. John's University in Michigan. This would be in college football. And he would have drills called a Have a Nice Day drill, where he would make sure guys just kind of laid down, like almost used their helmet as a pillow, kind of looked at the stars, and contemplated the meaning of life. Cam Lindley does that at least twice in every match.
It's a little bit of mindfulness.
Now, I hope he's okay as he's getting stretched out there, but it would not be an Indy 11 match if Cam was on the turf for at least 30-45 seconds, just taking it all in for a bit.
Well, you take a look at the volume of miles he puts on in a game. I mean, he's dropping to the back line, he's pressing up, he's a box-to-box guy, he's a touchline-to-touchline guy. And then, because he's so talented on the ball, there's a lot of players are running at him.
Now, I'm not suggesting this in what's in his Gatorade bottle now, but perhaps after the match, some mom water might be in order. I mean, he is a dad now. Refreshing, fruit-infused vodka water with 0 carbonation, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 90 calories. Mom water is the perfect game day drink. Founded in Indiana and now a proud sponsor of the Indy 11. Please drink and enjoy responsibly. I am very proud of the creative ways we have worked in the mom water read all season long.
What's this we stuff?
I'm giving you full credit for joining in as well.
I just sit here and watch in absolute amazement.
Dambrot will simply lift that ball back towards midfield. That ball is a select soccer ball. It is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Martinez flying forward as Budati in support. Tremendously well done by Detroit City to keep that ball at bay.
That's Stephen Carroll. That's just a veteran understanding that he is not going to be able to stay with Martinez over the course of 20-30 yards. He's got to make his play at that moment and win the ball.
Well, we give Lindley some good-natured grief about his time spent on the turf. Clearly this is a little more serious.
And when you start waving to the bench.
Yeah. That would kind of put a damper on this night if that is a significant injury to Cam Lindley. He has missed just 1 match all season. And And that was a match where he was told, hey, the league's not going to let you play because you've picked up 8 yellow cards on the season. Sebastian Guenzati now the only player that has played in every match this year, but the most starts belong to Cam Lindley.
And you look at the Blake, Quinn, Lindley trio in the middle of the field. You got 3 quarterbacks that are in there. And with Quinn being out with a knee injury right now, you have 2, and you can hardly afford to lose another one.
There's talented midfield players off the bench. Harrison Robledo, Roberto Molina, that immediately come to mind. But you're right, Indy has this just overwhelming kind of resources in the midfield. I mean, think of a team that is able to have Cam Lindley, Aiden Quinn, Solomon Asante, and Jack Blake on the same roster. We've been so spoiled in watching this year. Lindley going to try to stay on as long as he can, but while he is doing that, Ioze has looked at the corner flag and said, hey, we're going to get somebody in here quickly. Ballard. Indy has the ball advantage being played. That advantage has been defined at long to Douglas Martinez all night long. Martinez, does he draw the foul? Yes, he does. In a scenario where he was 1-on-3 and had no outlet, draws the foul at the edge of the 18. What a night for Douglas Martinez.
Unreal. And here's the situation. He has such pace. There were no blue jerseys that were able to keep up with him. There was nobody, if he's able to turn that corner, for him to deliver that ball to.
Dominic Gasso, by the way, has got the uniform top on for Detroit City. He'll be the next player they will wave on when given the opportunity.
And you can see City bothered here because the linesman, side judge, doesn't raise a flag, doesn't see a foul. Center comes over, saw something in it.
So Reese Williams, the guilty party, came on early in half number 1. Lindley steers this one in line, drive, ricocheted back towards section 104.
Maxi Rodriguez has taken 2 crosses squarely off his skull.
It's never an effort problem for Trevor James' team, is it?
No.
No. And by the way, we talked about the role that Trevor played here in his days in Indy in 17 and early 18. For those that don't know, Trevor's going to kind of bump into the front office and oversee the entire operation of Detroit City going forward. Much like the Indy 11, they too have a side in the USLW League. If there will be a new head coach for Detroit City, it's going to be awfully difficult to follow Trevor's lead, but Trevor will be there to provide guidance from the front office for DCFC.
Yeah, and the one thing that I think is going to stay, as you mentioned, that there's never a shortage of effort from Detroit City, and you know, Trevor's still staying involved with the club. We'll keep that, but then also it's an injustice to those fans to not have it because it's so much a part of Detroit culture.
It's Martinez. Couldn't find a window here. Takes a tumble, but again, ball finds a teammate. Guenzati. That will be a throw-in coming for the Indy 11, and here comes the first Indy 11 sub of the night. And again, you would imagine Cam Lindley as the player that will be waved off. It's Roberto Molina. Got a pair of goals this season. No, Lindley will stay on. It's Velasquez. So Velasquez, the second goal scorer for the Indy 11. His night is done in the 79th minute. All of our substitutions brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Monegasso you see on the screen. He's played in 13 matches. This will be his 8th appearance off the bench. Local product, as so many of these Detroit players are, from Grand Blanc, Michigan. Of course, this match is brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana, proud to be Honda's home turf too. Check your local Honda dealer today. Jalen Robinson is the player that comes off for Detroit City. Tonight was just his 6th start of the season for the former DC United man. opportunity here, 2v2 at the back. Indy racing numbers forward, and a foul called against Dispay. But frankly, you'll take that trade right now if you're Indy.
That just allows you to get numbers back and organize yourself.
Indy has 4 more subs they can use. Detroit City, just 1. Looking back post, and that was Dambrot that lifts that one. Corner kick coming, brought to us by Wilson Kehoe-Winningham.
What a great serve.
By the way, Miami does lead Hartford 1-0. Pittsburgh leads Tulsa 3-1, which means that as it stands now, Miami leapfrogs both Tulsa and Detroit, and they are currently in the 8th playoff spot.
They've been on a crazy run.
But frankly, that is right now a little concern for the Indy 11. That was the chance. That was the chance. Dario Suarez got ahead to it.
Wow.
But just steered it wide left.
Great serve from Rodriguez. Suarez is in the right place. Just doesn't get the contact he needed.
30 goals in 90 matches with FC Tulsa. He and Adrian Dispay, of course, share that common bond of being Cubans now playing professionally in the United States. When Dario defected after the Gold Cup in 2015, or during the Gold Cup in 2015, another very familiar name to us in this league defected with him. He and Ariel Martinez were part of the same group that took their chance to stay in the States now some 8 years ago.
What a talented group.
Quinzati comes out of the mix.
Great press by City. I mean, just so many bodies around the ball. There's no lane to play. And that's exactly how you got to break that press. They send so many white jerseys to the ball that when Cam gets it, he knows the other side's open.
Quinzati, Asante. Asante, that'll be a corner. In tremendous effort. Indy will be deliberate in their pace to this Wilson Kehoe-Winningham corner kick. Sands of the hourglass on the side of the Indy 11 in this one. And Detroit next week goes to Loudoun. That's a gettable road game for Detroit City. Loudoun is trailing 1-0 against Tampa Bay as we speak. The other match that has playoff implications, they got a bit of a later start. Memphis and Birmingham 0-0 at last report from AutoZone Park. Ball swept back to midfield. Of course, this match is brought to us by Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Simply delivered ball to Molina from Cam Lindley. He's got a couple of goals this season, and no touch there. Miss Steinwasser wide. Molina, another player brought in relatively early in the season. He had more of an impact kind of in May and June than we have seen as of late. Spent the last couple of years with the Las Vegas Lights, did Roberto.
Yeah, the impressive thing is when Indy picked him up, yeah, he's an attacking-minded player, midfield forward, and that was at that place that the 11 were going through this rotation in the back where they couldn't keep guys healthy and on the field, and he had to step in his first match as an outside wingback and played great.
Brian Revillon is ditching the corncob kit for a uniform top. Molina again has a hit. He may be trying to go for a shot a minute in his limited time in this match tonight.
Well, you take a look at his goals to minutes ratio. I mean, the last time he was in, I think his first touch was a goal.
So he has a goal about every 190 minutes he plays. So not too bad. A little more than obviously once every 2 full games.
Well, you got a guy like Quinzati, who is one of the all-time career leaders in goals scored in this league. And He's like around 160 minutes, so that's not bad for Molina.
His agent thanks you for pointing that out on the broadcast tonight on ESPN Plus and My Indy TV. Revion had the goal when Indy won in Hamtramck back on March 25th. Detroit will get their 5th and final sub to the 4th official. And as Brett Levis will be coming on, he and Dario Suarez both came to Detroit for Tommy McKay back in June. Foul against Detroit City. We'll talk to a couple of players and the 11 head coach Mark Lowry coming up in the post-game show. Obviously things are very much pointing in the right direction for the Indy 11 with 5 minutes and change left to go in this match. Indy 11 ask for a handball, don't get it. Ballard. Wow. Jope looking back post, and Reese Williams will let this roll all the way through the corner flag. Good job to get a boot in there by Indy. Suarez couldn't keep it at his feet. Not in a danger just yet.
What a great ball from Maxi.
Rodriguez, can he get there? No. Still a kick coming.
It's out of gas. There's so many miles on his legs right now. He gave him that ball 30 minutes ago, and he corrals it.
Just a reminder, fans, you can take the boys in blue with you wherever you go. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Levis will come in. Rodriguez has given his last, but he absolutely gave it his all in this match tonight. Stefano Pino has made his way to the bench to get the kid on for the Indy 11 as well. Revion has kind of peeled back from the 4th official. All our substitutions brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Pay getting checked out. Pay getting his 28th appearance of the season, his 26th start. He was brought in right at the end of February. He was a late addition. It would be hard to imagine where this Indy 11 season would be without him. Well, with goals and substitutions and injury time, there will be a few more minutes before this one comes to its conclusion. Not have a local broadcast of the match in Tulsa. Next Saturday night, you can go to ESPN Plus and see that one. Brad and I will have the Indy-only broadcast, or I should say Indiana-only, with our friends at WHME in South Bend and WLMO in Fort Wayne, carrying our broadcast on October the 14th. But at this point, that will be about seeding and fine-tuning for the postseason. Dambrot blows a tire. Rutz gets around his man. Plays it across back post, but Mishak Jerome was there. Jerome has been phenomenal tonight.
He was. He had two guys in the box, Ballard and Suarez. He picked the wrong one and plays it right into Mishak. Ballard was off his left shoulder wide open.
Here's Carroll. Pay. Anything away from the 18 works for the Indy 11 right now. Gasso dives in to take that away from Gwenzadik. The hit doesn't get through. It's up to Jerome to hit this one somewhere in the vicinity of downtown Indianapolis. Tim Trump can simply watch that one go by for a goal kick. We look towards the fourth official in terms of subs being waved on for the Indy 11. And then simultaneously, we will check and see exactly what sort of additional time will be necessary. And all of our substitutions brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Revion coming on for Solomon Asante. Another solid night for Solo. How about the night for Douglas Martinez? He has the goal that sends the Indy 11 to the postseason.
Changed
as it stands now.
He changed the game.
In 6 minutes. It was once told to Dougie Fresh. That was also now told to the Breaker Battalion. 6 minutes is what you have to wait. Miss Glad's why you're so cool. I'm glad you got the reference. Because you said earlier this year you didn't like the Beastie Boys, and that was almost a deal breaker for us. But
that's what we're going to break up over?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Relationships have ended for far less. Throw in coming for the Indy 11. Lewis touched it last. With fresh legs will give chase. Credit to Lindley. Thought he was going to be done for the night about 15 minutes ago, and he has continued to soldier on. A lot of fans starting to make their way towards the exits on this gorgeous September Saturday night. And it's a result on this final Saturday in September that means that October for the Indy 11 looks like going to last a little bit longer. Jack Blake wins that one for Indy. The hit.
Clean.
An atom ball to Tim Trill. And Trilk will take his dear old sweet time in resetting here until prompted otherwise.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, there's still 4 or 5 minutes left in this match. But it's in hand for Indy. The last thing you want to do is be playing with it in the back third, middle third, where you give a little bit of hope to this game.
Blake. Pino is onside. And Pino iced this one for Indy. He'll play it to Molina. Molina touches it home. Smoke, fireworks, all of it. Indy is going to the postseason. It's a 3-goal lead with 3 minutes to play. Molina has turned into the victory cigar for the Indy 11. He has goals in 4-0 wins against Charleston and Birmingham, and now in what is a 3-goal lead against Detroit City.
And very similar to the first, I think the first match he played for Indy was against Lou City. And he came in and was just all over the place creating opportunities. And you take a look at what he's brought to this game, and it's been opportunity after opportunity.
What does that tell you about Stefano Pino? He hasn't scored a goal yet this year.
I think it's magical because that is a guy that has to be wanting to see that ball cross the line for himself. And for him to make a play like that, to set up a tap-in for a teammate, that is unbelievable.
But anybody that knows Steph knows that's absolutely him. Pino then comes back and commits the foul. Stefano in his second year with the Indy 11 went back to play in his native Brazil for the first time in a decade to begin this year. Returned to the Indy 11 in July. Matthew Lewis not happy. Direct that toward the Indy 11 bench, and you understand the frustrations that he and his teammates are feeling. Ending ball in, a good one, but I don't think that ball was whistled ready for play just yet. Let's try this one more time, shall we? And Levis being told back up, close to the sideline. And all that does is take more time off the clock in this scenario. Revion will play that one forward. And Pino. Molina. And perhaps the best thing for both these teams is for this one to come to its conclusion within 60 seconds. Because obviously the result has been determined at this point. Ballard trying to dig in to get one at the end. Trilk was late to get there, but get there he did.
Ooh, big gamble by Dispay. In traffic, heading it back. Got enough of it to complete the pass to Trilk.
By the way, Miami now 2 goals in front of Hartford. As Pino takes a tumble. And Pittsburgh maintains a 3-1 lead against FC Tulsa. Memphis has a 1-0 lead against the Birmingham Legion.
Birmingham started like 6-0, 7-0 or something, and it's been a struggle for them.
Sometimes when you have those cup runs that they did, it kind of throws things up, and it seems they've never kind of found their rhythm since that time. That result holds. They'll be 5 points back of the Indy 11. Now the activity. As much as we're watching the ball, you're also watching the wrist watch of our referee tonight in a Katarina Koroleva. Ballard got fouled. So the last activity, this one might be a look on goal for a set piece here. A late card shown to Molina. And stay tuned, we'll have a very joyous post-game show here in Indianapolis. Indy made the postseason in each of their first 2 years in the championship in 2018 and 2019. Have not been back since. In a 16-game schedule, Indy saw a 4-0 start lead to being not a playoff team in 2020. Didn't really threaten the playoffs, neither 21 or 22. It took an August to remember to ensure that playoff positioning for the Indy 11 this time around. Throw in coming for the Indy 11. And you would think that remaining activity would be minimal at this point. That's it. October's going to last a little longer for the Indy 11. They are playoff bound with a 3-goal victory against Detroit City tonight. Your goal scorers: Martinez, Velasquez, Molina for the Indy 11. For Martinez, his 4th of the season. For Velasquez, it is his 1st. And for Roberto Molina, it is his 3rd of the campaign. The smoke billowing from the Brickyard Battalion. Again, postseason now guaranteed. While again, unlikely that it comes back here. A potential great kind of final moment in your building for the Indy 11 in 2023.
Yeah, just a quality game at a time that you needed it. The one thing that really didn't want to see is having to go into Tulsa with Tulsa also
Correct.
having to get a win. And, you know, you eliminate that right now. Now, that doesn't mean you take your foot off the gas, because I believe you got to roll into the playoffs with all guns firing and everything clicking on all cylinders. But the fact that you've got it in hand now just takes a little bit of that pressure off.
You know, very fittingly, I have a series of notes, and folks, you would not know this, but I've got numbers by the various reads that I do. Read number 45 is the stat of the game, brought to us by Sports Tech HQ. And that number is exactly the number of points that the Indy 11 are sitting on right now. That puts them into the playoffs. Our stat of the game brought to us by Sports Tech HQ.
The thing that's also special about this is you did it at home on Fan Appreciation Night. These fans, you talked about these last 4 years have been tough. And so many good things have happened, but you've not been able to turn the corner. And now you do it on a night. You get to reward your fans. Full house tonight.
A 12th win of the season for the Indy 11. They sweep the season series against Detroit City. And again, if the Birmingham score holds, it really is a four-way battle now for the last two spots between Birmingham, Miami, Detroit, and Tulsa. That's the way it looks right now, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But the top 6 teams have booked their passage to the postseason. The 6 to join that group, the Indy 11. 1 first half goal, 2 second half goals. It all adds up for all 3 points for the boys in blue tonight. Stay tuned. Post-game coverage comes your way next on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus, as well as the Indy 11 television network. Martinez, Velasquez, Molina, oh my! The Indy 11 are postseason bound. More coverage comes your way next.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. And by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
The player that thinks this is my last chance or thinks this is my only chance, that player fights harder. That player doesn't quit. That player doesn't look for shortcuts. That player is a warrior. That's the player that we want in our locker room.
None of these players are on the radar of pro soccer. For many, it's their last chance to reach their dream. For some, it's their only chance.
That is embarrassing, guys.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
Tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. It's a crazy world, so what do you do? Tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
Now, this week we're going to shine the spotlight on our Academy team as well. Our U19 boys side clinched their USL Academy division this week with a 1-0 win over Lou City, thanks to a goal from Benji Chavarria. Now, for those of you that don't know, our first team assistant coach, Gabe Zapponi, is also the head coach of that U19 side. So here's Gabe to shine the spotlight on his side, the U19s, clinching their division and subsequently heading back to Florida later this year for another chance at a USL Academy trophy.
It's been great, be able to implement some of the ideas that we have with the first team into the 19s. It's been fantastic. Some of the players that were with me with the 17s last year, we moved them up with me to combine with the quality and the special players we already had with the 19s. So it's been a special group. It's a very good group to work with, very coachable, and then they want to learn, they want to improve, and take them to the next level. So it's been fun. I'm just really proud of the guys. So if the guys are watching this, I just want to let them know how proud I am of the work. I'm thankful for the effort, from the attitudes that they've been buying into those things. They knew they need the discipline. They knew that they need more commitment. And that's something that I talked to the leaders of the team in the beginning of the season. What do you guys want? What do you guys need from me? And have their understanding. I also able to keep them accountable. And they have been doing that. And I think that's part of the success that we having right now. So I'm just thankful for them to buy in, to get into my ideas and executed them with passion, with concentration. So it's been a joy to be part of their development.
All right, back home at the mic for the last time this season. The opponent is Detroit. The theme is Fan Appreciation Night, and tickets can be yours at indy11.com/tickets. for the last time this season. Hope to see you there.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Well, a key tenet of television is for the talent, which would be, again, lightly used here, Brad and myself, to be able to hear each other and hear the players we're talking to, as well as the producer of the broadcast, Adam Smith. For about 10 minutes, we weren't doing that. We have figured that out now, and thankfully the players were kind enough to wait to celebrate clinching a playoff spot with us. And let's start with Sebastian Velasquez, who joins us now. I have learned all these things about you: goal scorer, restaurant chef, partial restaurant owner, and one of the brightest smiles on the Indy 11. Let's talk about the soccer first. Congratulations, you are playoff bound. What does that mean to you?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for having me. I think it's a special night for Indiana. The boys have worked so hard. We had to come together. When I got here a couple months ago, we knew we had great players, but we needed to figure out how to make it come together. And the biggest goal right now was to make playoffs. And to do it on such a special night, such a big crowd, I think it's a blessing. And obviously the job's not done. We still got work to do.
You have played in a lot of places. You have played for Mark before in El Paso. Why was seemingly joining Indy in midseason such a good fit for you?
Oh, it's perfect. Mark knows me as a man, as a person, as a dad. He knew the struggles I've gone through this season, especially because I've been playing with a hip labrum problem, and he still has belief in me, and the fact that he brought me and gave me an opportunity to come and play for the team, it was an honor, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Well, it's not just Mark. After that goal, there was a little wink to Trevor James as well, a little head nod from him. What's the connection there?
To be honest, when I left Israel last season, he was the first one to give me a call, and he wanted me to come to his team, and and it didn't work out, and so it was just interesting to know that we're clinching a playoff against his team.
So I want to talk about, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask the same thing to Mark. And you touched on it a little bit here, but after you scored that goal, it was a sprint to the bench and a hug with Coach Lowry. Why? What was behind that?
We have such a great relationship. We've been in so many different teams, and we've gone to a lot of championship games. We've done a lot of great things together, and even though I'm getting older, he still has that belief in me, and to be able to put that cherry on top and clinch a playoff spot. And to be honest, I didn't know that the team hadn't been in playoffs in 2019, so it just makes it that much better, and it's just a way of me being appreciative and basically saying thank you, Coach. But at the end of the day, I told him we're going to playoff, but we still got a championship to go and win.
All right, you can't have a hit like that without replaying it for us, so I'm sure that our folks in the tape room have it queued up in terms of being able to show that goal. Walk us through what you saw on that play before you deposit it in the upper 90 left side.
Well, obviously, Cam is a player that can play balls in between lines, and I just got in a position where I could be close to the 18. I've always known that I'm very dangerous around the 18, and so my first touch beat the first defender, and then I was basically 1v1. I cut to my left foot as I always do, and then I just hit it, and thankfully it went upper 90.
Well, again, we have the joy of seeing on a monitor right now. You don't. Trust me, it looked good as that thing found the back of the net. Sebastian, we'll let you go and enjoy this one, buddy. A great first conversation with you. I did the broadcast thing. I lied. So you're a bit of a chef or a restaurateur? Enlighten us here.
Yes, sir. I got a restaurant. It's called Monterey's at Clemson, but we're having a little competition here soon. But like I said, I'll be the assistant chef. I don't want to be the main chef. If things go wrong, I'll blame it on the regular chef. So it'll be all right.
Clearly, as you can tell, if you need a food judge, I'm your guy.
Yes, sir.
I'm here
You're
for
the
you.
first guy I'm going to invite, my man. Thank you for having me.
Congrats, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Sebastian Velasquez, kind enough to join us. And Brad, why have we not had him on the show before?
I don't know. That was a great conversation. The guy's always smiling, so that's a plus.
That is a remarkably easy conversation. Robbie Dambrot making his way towards the headphones again. That is the video board that you see on the east end of the stadium, and that's all that needs to be said. You kind of feel like this weight kind of being lifted off the shoulders of everybody being a playoff team for the first time in 4 years.
That is an absolutely beautiful graphic up on the video board.
All right, with that, Robbie Dambrot joins us now, and Robbie, our first chance to have you on the post-game show this year. Just again, you've been here now for the better part of a year and a half. What's that feeling like knowing you're playoff bound?
No, it's unbelievable. I think this is my first personal playoff appearance, so I'm super excited, and then I'm obviously super excited for the club, too, because this is what this club deserves and this fan base.
I know the last 3 games maybe haven't gone the way you guys would want them to, but you're in this position because you guys had a phenomenal month and had 6 or 7 unbeaten. What kind of clicked for this group from, say, early August on?
Yeah, I think throughout the whole season, we showed signs of what we could be, when it all comes together, and I think it's really just a reward of everyone staying at it and sticking to the process and just trusting that the results will come. And I think, tonight was a great example of that. We could have gotten another goal, but we weren't fortunate enough to get it, but we just kept pushing, and that's what happened.
Tell me the mindset in the second half. So halftime, you're up 1-0. You've got everything in hand right now. You got a playoff spot earned. Where is that line between continuing to get forward and press and sitting back?
No, to be honest with you, we treated it like 2 separate games. We won the first one 1-0, and we were rewarded because of our energy and our work rate. So we didn't want to sit back at all. We wanted to win the second game. So I think we just kept pushing, and we were able to find 2 more.
So with that, with the ability to keep pushing, how important is it for everything this back line has been through this year to get a clean sheet here in the end?
No, it feels good. I think, we're right up there with some of the top teams in the league in terms of number of clean sheets. So we just got to keep doing our part and trust that the attackers will do theirs.
Okay, now what? Now what are these 2 weeks like? Again, Tulsa has to play for a playoff spot at your place. You don't have to do that next week. You and San Antonio might be kind of in a similar spot 2 weeks from now. Does this really change your mindset knowing that you're in for these last 2 regular season road games?
I don't think so. I think we'll obviously enjoy it tonight, celebrate together, but after that, it's right back to work. So, we want to carry as much momentum into the playoffs as we can. So, it's right back to work.
All right, was Dad/Coach here? Is he getting ready for workouts with the Dukes? Was he here tonight? Is he back in Pittsburgh?
Nah, he's back in Pittsburgh. They got practice going now, so they're starting to fire it up.
Well, I'm sure you're going to have a nice conversation or text chain with him coming up this evening. Go enjoy it, my friend. Congratulations.
No doubt. Thanks, guys.
Robbie Dambrot, kind enough to join us again, one of the many good guys on this Indy 11 roster. We'll see if we can sneak in a conversation with Mark Lowry. We may not have time, again, unfortunately, because of our technical difficulties, but really speaks to those guys that both players kind of hung around waiting for us. Maybe they like talking to us.
Nah.
I'm sure Sebastian liked the restaurant plug, but also it's just a matter of, let's face it, everybody wants to chat right now.
Well,
Because, again,
you also,
it has been such a weight. And, again, even though the roster has turned over greatly the last couple of years, people talk about the fact, hey, this has not been a playoff team for 4 years. It is now.
Yeah, but you mentioned it right there at the end. Another good guy.
Yeah,
and this locker room is filled with good guys and a bunch of warriors. And it starts at the top from everything in this organization. And the reward for having to go through a season like this, where there was that stretch where you just couldn't get a back line consistent game to get half to half sometimes. So this reward at the end is so refreshing.
We're going to get to highlights in just a moment, but I'm going to ask, Robbie, the son of a coach, I'll ask the coach instead.
I'm not a coach.
Well, you were for 30 years. You count on that front. If you're Mark Lowry, do you approach these last two matches now any differently, knowing there is a 35th match at least coming up the weekend before Halloween?
Robbie Dambrot's answer about second half was the answer. If you're not going to change it and you're going to still be running your wing backs up in the second half when you got this game in hand, that says, hey, this is how we're going to play. We're going to cement our confidence. We're going to get some more reps, some more touches in the way we play. And I think these next two games are going to be very, very similar to what we saw in the second half.
Again, here is what is left, and we will have that road telecast at San Antonio coming up on October the 14th. If we have time, let's kind of sneak in some highlights from how things played out tonight. Again, we got three different goals to show you. In the first half, it was chance after chance after chance. In the second half, it was more of Indy kind of taking advantage of the chances that were laid out in front of them.
Right, we talked about it. What was needed, it was just that final piece, and here's Martinez just fighting through a ball with a back and able to find the other end of it and put it back past Steinwasser.
Solomon Asante couldn't get that one past Steinwasser. Nate Steinwasser did his job. Heading in for Detroit, you just kind of had the feeling there weren't going to be all that many chances in tonight's game. That Velasquez goal, one of the more brilliant ones we have seen all year from the Indy 11.
That was great. And really his first look at goal. Everything else at the top of the 18, he was a possession distributor.
Best chance of the match right there for Detroit City, but frankly, it came after the match had been decided. It was 2-0, and then a little nutmeg there for Molina for his third goal of the campaign.
That is one that you put up on the video board in front of the entire team, and you say, look what Pino did in that moment. Look at what he did for his team in that moment.
So 45 points for the Indy 11. Again, that clinches their playoff position. Seeding, again, really could be 6, 7, or 8. Looking at likely the 6th seed because of the results behind them. By the way, Birmingham has a 2-1 lead at Memphis. So Birmingham could be catching up a little bit, and it slightly keeps the door open for Indy being the 4th seed. There's not enough time for me to count fingers and toes to give you all the scenarios as to where Indy will end up. But this much we know. There will be 8 teams in the Eastern Conference playing in the postseason. The Indy 11 will be one of them. Next week at Tulsa, catch that match on ESPN+. For Brad Hunter and our entire production crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Indianapolis, the Indy 11 postseason battle.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money. From rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling, you can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.